brand new street and brand new me. Side by friends I need.
Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do another dump and go casserole recipe. This is chicken and wild rice casserole, and you're going to need, I'm going to double this recipe by the way, but you're going to need a box of this. If you're just going to go by the recipe, I'm doing 2. So I went ahead and cooked it. I've already got it ready to go. I'm going to add 2 cups of cooked chicken that I chopped myself in here, and hope that it all fits in this big pan. It's not very big. 2 cans of green beans drained, and I just did the regular cut. If you want to get fancy, you can do the French style, I guess. Okay. Ooh, we're cutting it close. Okay. Gonna need some onion powder, and since we are doubling this, 2 teaspoons. And then I'm gonna need 2 cans of mushroom soup. Hopefully it's gonna fit in this little tiny pan. I don't know. Okay. But you can use a really big bowl and combine all this. And I'm probably still gonna be combining once I put it in my dish over here. Alright. Make sure that we got everything. So the next thing we're gonna do is some almonds. And the only ones I have are the slivered. It says to use sliced, but these are the only ones I have, so this is what's gonna go in here. And I'm gonna need a cup because I'm going to double it. So half a cup if you're not, and a whole cup if you are. Alright, we'll just stop there. I'll try to make this work. Alright, so you need to have your oven preheated to 350 degrees, and we're going to cook this 20 to 30 minutes. But we're also going to put some Ritz crackers on top. And I'm sure that if you prefer breadcrumbs, you can probably still use those. Okay. It's ready to go. I'm going to use a 9x13 casserole dish that I've sprayed. Move it over here. And let's see. Try to get this in here. It's heavy. And then I'm going to try to give it a little bit of a stir once it's in this pan. I doubled the recipe because the original recipe only serves 4. So that wasn't going to work. Alright, I'm going to stir this up just a little bit. Make sure it's good and combined. Okie dokie. Get this, I'll scoop this off instead of, now I'm shaking the camera. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to melt some butter and a cup of crackers. So give me just 1 second. Let me get that together. Okay, y'all. So I took 3 tablespoons of butter and I melted it. And I'm adding in 1 stack of Ritz crackers, crushed. So instead of pouring it over, I just decided to add it to the crackers themselves. Okay. So now I'm just going to sprinkle this. 1 stack of crackers, 3 tablespoons. Could even be 4 tablespoons of butter. Just whatever. Alright, so we are going to... I'm probably going to cover this in full, just to be on the safe side. And then take it off the last few minutes so that the crackers can toast up. But you can do it uncovered if you prefer. But I'm just going to cover it just to be on the safe side. So 350 degrees, 20 to 30 minutes until it's hot and bubbly. And I'll see you back here in a few. Okay, y'all, so this is the finished product. Let me just show you real quick. It's just a real good, wholesome comfort meal. I did wait till the last few minutes to toast my cracker crumbs, and it's heated thoroughly. The rice is cooked completely, and it's ready to serve. In my opinion, this has got everything that it needs in it. It has meat, it has vegetable, and it has a starch. So that's what we're gonna have for dinner. And it's like an all-in-one dump and go casserole, perfect for the weeknights. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today we are gonna make some chicken and dressing, and I am gonna try, we call it dressing, but I'm gonna try to show you this real quick. It's the same as when you make dressing for the holidays, only I don't put chicken in it. I put chicken broth, yes, but not pieces of chicken. So this is a little bit different. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need to do is make a pan of cornbread. My recipe is real simple. Is Martha White's cornmeal mix, the white one, an egg, 1/4 cup of oil, and milk until you get to the consistency that you want, which is usually like a thick batter. Not too dry, not too wet, somewhere in the middle. And then I bake that, and that's it. So I like a crunchy bottom to mine. So I heat up some oil in the oven while I'm getting everything mixed up, and it kind of fries on the bottom a little bit, but the rest of it's just normal. Okay, so the best cornbread to use would be day-old cornbread, but I have made it, 1 minute and then just turn right around and make some dressing right after. So it doesn't have to be that way. Then you need to take about 1/2 stick of butter and a stalk and a half of celery and about 1/2 of a medium onion or a whole small onion, either way, and saute that until it's soft. Then you're going to pour all of it, butter and all, in the pan. And I went ahead and cooled this down just a little bit because I've got to add some raw eggs. But first, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get our mixture ready, because I'm going to have to taste it before I add the raw eggs to make sure that I've got my seasoning correct. And if I can find it, I will link an old video that I did of this. Like I said, it's going to be my plain dressing. And then you just follow my tips in this video about how to add the chicken. You're going to make this a little bit more soupy. That way your meat doesn't dry out. That's the only trick. So, everything else is the exact same. Alright. So that was my chicken broth. I start out with about 4 cups. 4 cups? Yeah. 4 cups of chicken broth. That way I have enough to do this, because I just do it based on how wet I want it to be, how dry I want it to be, whatever. And I've done it for so long, I don't even measure it. But I do have, I believe I do have a recipe for it. For those of you that are beginners and don't really, know how to make it, or can trust yourself to make it, you know what I mean, without measuring. Okay, so bottom line for mine is I add more poultry seasoning than I do sage. Some people just add sage and that's it, and that's not what I do. Okay, so I start out with a healthy amount of poultry seasoning. I would say at least a tablespoon. And then the sage is not the same amount. It's about half. And then I just go off, you know, whatever seasoning I want. So I'm gonna put some salt in it. About a half a teaspoon or so. And pepper, I put pepper in it too. And I usually do a generous amount of pepper. So I can usually taste it and tell, you know, what's missing. So I want to go ahead and get my ratio right on the seasoning versus the liquid first. Then I'll add my chicken breast that I've already cooked ahead of time and chopped up. You do not have to use chicken breast. It's just faster, easier, quicker, the whole thing. And before I add my raw eggs. So let me taste this real quick and see how it is. Okay. I figured that this is what it was going to be because I always do it this way. It's going to need a little bit more of both. And like I said, I'll try to link that other video. Oops. For those of you that need some extra help with the season, with the measurements, sorry. Lay in a little bit more pepper and some more salt. Okay. And if you see how it's kind of starting to, all the seasonings start to dry it out. Add some more. Now here we don't do stuffing where it's really dry and crumbly. Ours is more wet. But also I'm going to add meat to this and it will dry out if it's not wet enough. Okay. I think we're going to stop right there. You can use low sodium broth. I'm just using my bouillon cubes because that's how I do things. So I'm going to taste it one more time, make sure, but I'm pretty certain this is fine. Okay. You'll preheat your oven to 350. And I've added about 2 cups worth of my chicken. Now, see how it's kind of sticking out of the dressing? That's fine, but it's going to dry out. So, I'm going to give it a little bit more wetness. And I know it seems like overkill, but trust me. Alright, so that's chicken and dressing. And then here's 2 eggs that I beat just a little bit to help hold it all together. Alright, so let me get my pan real quick. So this is like a really good meal to make, especially if, you know, you're kind of trying to make it through the week on very little food, you know, until payday. Because this can last several days and you can pair all kinds of stuff with it, and it's like having Thanksgiving all over again. You can also do any cut of chicken. I don't know if I said that. So you can cook thighs or whatever. The only thing I've ever done is chicken breast and thighs. Bottom line, no matter what you do, make sure there's enough liquid. See how it's kind of pulling up around the side? I don't know if you can see that or not, but if you don't, it's going to dry out, and I learned the hard way. Okay? You can also use turkey. I just make sure whatever meat I put in is already cooked first, okay? 350 degrees until this solidifies a little bit. It usually takes about 30 minutes or so, but it may take just a teeny bit longer because of the liquid, because you're going to try to cook all that liquid out, but not too much. And I make it to where it's just got a little bit of a crust on the edges, just a little. Okay, I'll see you back here when it's done. It's a really quick meal. Okay, y'all. So this is the finished product. As you can see, it's still quite moist, and that's the way I want it to be. So I'm going to dish some of this out right now so you can get a first-hand look at what it looks like. And normally we put cranberry sauce on ours. Me, I just put cranberry sauce on mine. Oops. But a lot of my family will put gravy and cranberry sauce or just gravy on theirs. But that's what it looks like. I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. Chicken doesn't look dried out at all. And it looks perfect. Okay, y'all, that's it. It's pretty quick and simple. It's perfect for, like, being on a budget. We here in Alabama, I know, we don't just eat dressing during the holidays. So we can do it any time of the year. It's not something that we save it for then. But me, myself, I only put chicken in it or some sort of meat when it isn't the holidays. So, okay, y'all. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time.